What's going on, everyone? So LeBron James is an incredible talent, right? Year 20, age 38, all-time scoring leader, has had a great year, historic year. He gets injured and he comes back. And there were questions of, did he rush back too soon, right? LeBron James, he's a incredible specimen, but you saw in the Minnesota Timberwolves game, he seemed kind of like almost like he was coasting. He seemed kind of out of it in many ways. And there are real questions of, is he pushing himself too hard? He says that he's not quite in a rhythm. But again, questions of why would he come back, right? The Lakers, yes, they're primed and in a position to try to make a playoff run, but he could have waited several games or kind of just see, okay, do the Lakers get into the playoffs? And if they do, okay, then I'll come back and try to make a run. Or did he come back because he wants to prove that that injury didn't really hamper him, that he can overcome that injury because he wants to be traded this offseason? That is right. There are reports that have came out that LeBron James is going to demand a trade this offseason, that he wanted to return for one, to show that, hey, the injury, it wasn't season ending, it wasn't career ending, it's something that, was just a little bump in the road, a little hiccup, and he's going to be able to return full-fledged, right? He also, in the same breath, second thing, is he wants to try to make one last push with the Los Angeles Lakers, try to get them another championship, obviously himself, before he departs ways and ends up requesting a trade this offseason. Now, there are several suitors that could be the case. The Warriors, they want to make a push. There's even been sort of murmurs that they would be willing to trade some of the younger guys if it meant giving the Golden State Warriors another opportunity to win an NBA championship. And LeBron James has expressed wanting to play with Steph Curry. Phoenix, they have a great team, although they don't really have young assets, but maybe you could get like a DeAndre Ayton and then trade Anthony Davis and kind of retool, rebuild from there with your young core. Miami is another destination that maybe you could get like a Tyler Hero, something like that, and that kind of deal. But per the reports, LeBron James wants to be traded to the Sixers, that he wants to go team up with Joel Embiid and potentially James Harden. Now, James Harden, there have been talks that he may end up leaving for the Houston Rockets, which if that ends up happening, that could be kind of interesting. But even still, even if James Harden does leave, LeBron James and Joel Embiid, if LeBron can still play to the level that we saw this year, would be just something else, right? How good are Anthony Davis and LeBron James? Imagine if LeBron James was able to team up with Joel Embiid. They also have a pretty solid team. The question would be, would Philly be willing to give up Tyrese Maxey? But Daryl Morey, he ain't afraid to go all in. He ain't afraid to push his chips to the table. So maybe Philly could put together a nice package. You'd probably have to give up Tobias Harris just for salary purposes. So, something with centered around, Tobias Harris and Tyrese Maxey pieced together with whatever other filler, whatever other picks that they have to go and acquire LeBron James. The other alternative would be if James Harden really does want out of Philadelphia, then maybe you just do some sign and trade LeBron James for James Harden, and then you'd have like Harden and Anthony Davis with this young core. Although him and D'Lo kind of are really similar, right? Is that something that you want to do? Maybe if you're the Lakers, you can work out a third team and maybe send Harden elsewhere, right? Maybe if he really does want to go to Houston, could you work out a 3-team deal that sends LeBron to Philly, James Harden to Houston, and then the Lakers maybe get some of the young pieces? That could be something interesting. That could be something that would be really valuable for the Lakers. I mean, Houston has some really nice young pieces. Or you could get James Harden and then maybe look to trade D'Angelo Russell. That is something else. Although D'Lo has been really good off the ball this year, so do you maybe go James Harden, D'Lo, and then if it doesn't work out, maybe then try to trade James Harden or try to change D'Lo. There's definitely some flexibility. There's definitely some options there for the Lakers if you were to do a sort of Philly trade. Ideally, if we could get Tyrese Maxey, I wouldn't mind Tyrese Maxey. I mean, this is unfortunate in general, right? Like, you don't want LeBron James to go, right? Like, I mean, he's going to go sooner rather than later. He wants to go play with the Sun, but you'd imagine that he would have wanted to at least ride out this contract. And especially with the Lakers going and getting all of these pieces and really putting a team around LeBron James that's really good and can really kind of appears to get the job done. I hope that this doesn't like hamper the locker room or just make things difficult in general. Because I mean, they're really making a push, and this is not news that you want to get right when you just beat Minnesota and now you're trying to make a push for the playoffs, to get into the playoffs and maybe run for a title run and try to get into contention. And all of a sudden it's like, hey, LeBron has spoken with the front office and said, hey, this is my last year here. I want to be traded. Hopefully they can kind of use this last push. I still think LeBron, his best interest would be to stay with the Lakers. I think he has a real opportunity there. Write out your contract for the next 2 years. If you need to, you can kind of retool. I wonder if he would change his mind if the Lakers did win an NBA championship. But according to the reports, LeBron feels that the organization, like, yes, they made the changes, but they made the changes too late. And that, he feels like this was, again, another wasted season. And it hasn't gone ideal. But again, maybe you win an NBA championship this year, and maybe you can kind of entice LeBron James to stay. Now, from a Philly standpoint, I mean, if you could get LeBron James and still keep James Harden, it's a pretty good, three duo, right? That would be the best big three in the league. James Harden, he could play on the ball, he could play off the ball. LeBron does want to play off the ball more, right? So you could have him, especially in his later years, have him play off the ball with James Harden. And not just that, but there's a lot of questions of James Harden, like, can he show up? Can he step up? Can he be the guy that they need him to be, especially come playoff time? Well, if you have LeBron James, that just takes so much pressure off of James Harden, right? James Harden can kind of be the number two throughout the season. LeBron would be able to kind of coast, and then you can kind of flip the script come playoff time, allow LeBron to kind of take that step forward and be playoff LeBron. Him and Joel Embiid would be arguably the best duo in the league. These three would be the best big three in the league. James Harden, his ability to shoot the three ball. Joel Embiid, I mean, LeBron James, just his ability to create and set guys up. It would definitely be quite an interesting trio. And then again, if James Harden doesn't leave or does end up leaving, whether it's to the Lakers or, a 3-team deal, if they can keep Tyrese Maxey, I mean, Maxey, LeBron, and Joel Embiid would be pretty good. I mean, I would take LeBron James right now, even next year, over James Harden, right? It just comes down to health, right? Can this team stay healthy? Can this team, keep it together to where they can compete and contend for a championship? I mean, Philadelphia is already a sleeper. Imagine what they'd be if they added LeBron James, right? You kind of would have that toughness, right? Like PJ Tucker. You look at the Sixers roster and you add LeBron James, and that team becomes scary. But the Lakers, you got to get valuable pieces, right? Like, my concern is, how much are you going to be able to get for LeBron? And it just really puts pressure on the Lakers, right? Because you're not going to get value for LeBron that you would have gotten 5 years ago, right? You're not going to get some grand slam package. So what's going to be the trade value, right? Like I said, if you could get a Maxey, like if you get Maxey and like, I don't know what the Sixers picks are off the top of my head, but let's say, Maxey and 2 firsts for LeBron James. And then, you take on like Tobias Harris or something like that, like I said, just for salary purposes. I mean, that's not terrible, right? Now you got a young shooting guard that can, 1, be a valuable trade chip, or 2, be a real key piece for this young Lakers team. Now you got kind of, D'Lo, Maxey. You could have Reeves kind of step back into that 6-man role. You still have Anthony Davis, or you could take Anthony Davis and go trade Anthony Davis and try to get some other pieces, maybe go full rebuild mode and just, try to get some assets, maybe clear some salary, maybe get another star later on down the road, or maybe Maxey develops into that star. I mean, he's already nearly a 20-point per game guy. So I don't think it would be the worst thing in the world. My biggest problem, though, is that this is all just an April Fool's joke. And I just wanted to make a video just to poke some light, have some fun with y'all. I hope you enjoyed the video. For those that made it this long, what's going to be really funny is the people that didn't make it to the end of the video to see that this was an April Fool's joke, and all of them thinking that, LeBron James wants to be traded and he's going to the Sixers. But that's what you get for not waiting till the end of the video. But again, it's just all in good fun. It's April Fool's. Why not? April 1st day. I was contemplating going back and forth, like, should I make a video? Should I not? But I was like, why not? Right? Life's too short. It's all good fun. So let's make this video and talk about it. So if I got you, if it was believable, all that stuff, hit that like button. It means a ton to me. I hope you got a good kick out of it. Hope you're not too upset. And, I got some real videos coming later today, so look forward to those. But again, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel.